but I'm sure you've read some of the
Yeah.
the jokes that people claiming it looks like a. Never mind. Anyway, moving right along now. Your last fight in the UFC, you took it against Thiago, Paulo Thiago, very, very short notice. You've got a forthcoming fight. Once again, you're taking on very short notice. Who's your opponent going to be, and when are you fighting again?
Martin Kampmann. I'm fighting in the UFC 108 January 2nd in Las Vegas. Oh, sorry, that's my daughter.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm fighting. And I took that Monday, this last Monday. So I got 2 weeks to train the hands, and then when I fly out there, because they gave me a 3-week suspension after my last fight, so I couldn't train hands boxing.
Right. When is Joe Silva and anybody getting this? Get the word out to Joe Silva. Give this man give this man a long-term contract. He's going to be fighting two very, very tough opponents. That's a tough start to a UFC career. I mean, Kampmann is widely regarded as one of the top 10 fighters in the welterweight division, and Paulo Thiago's no slouch either. Number one, give this guy an extension. Give him as many fights as he needs. Number two, for God's sakes, in his next fight, give him longer than 3 weeks.
Well, I think I'd rather have it this route than Johnny Hendricks' route, getting no-name guys right off the bat, trying to build him up. I'd rather have a guy that's tough off the bat.
That is true. Although, we'll keep that. So your opinion of Amir Sadala? I mean, I definitely think your route has been a lot more tougher. Paulo Thiago, again, one of the fringe top 10 guys, as is Kampmann. So if you do wind up winning this fight, have they given you any mention as to what could be next for you after this?
No, I don't talk to Joe Silva or Dana White at all. The only person I talk to is Monty Cox, and that's only when the fight comes around. I haven't heard anything either. I don't have time to go online and find out what the gossip is either.
Have you had a
Go ahead, Scott.
Have you had a chance to watch any Kampmann tape, or were you familiar with him beforehand?
No, I did get a chance to watch him. I'm not familiar with him. I watched him when he fought Daly and a little bit when he fought Condit. I'm still studying the tape. I just started this week, so give me some time here.
Real quick, Jacob. I've got a question from you from your buddy Derek Noble.
Oh boy.
Wants to know why you won't ultrasound his groin.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I got to ask. I've seen some of Thompson. I've seen some of Derek's posts on the underground. I've dealt with Nick Thompson in the past and know he has a sense of humor. Some of the other, the Minnesota guys. Is there always that? Do all of them have that underlying perverseness to them? Which I, by the way, find to be extremely hilarious.
Well, have you wrestled before?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much every wrestler has a perverted sense of humor. And I think that's about the same. That goes with the mixed martial arts too.
Yeah, I wrestled up from junior high and high school. Scott, I'm not perverted at all, am I? I mean, ask my wife. I'm the most unperverted person you'd ever meet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
My wife just said the same thing. Yeah, right.
And Josh had said, "Leave it to Jay to take the show into the gutter."
See.
Well, I hate to disappoint you guys, but having a sick, demented sense of humor crosses many, 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 many boundaries. As I have been involved in combat sports and team sports and theater and news media, and they are all really, really weird.
Okay, Scott, but think about this for a second, and Jacob, I'm sure you'll relate to what I'm about to say here. Scott, have you ever watched a wrestling meet?
Yes.
Do you see how short them singlets ride?
Oh yeah.
You've got to be a pervert to appreciate this sport.
Okay, we'll just let that die right there.
See, poor Jacob. He said, we're breaking him into the media side of things, and he gets stuck with us. That's like the proverbial death wish. So Jacob, moving on to the MMA side of things, and a little bit away from ultrasounds of groins. again, with your fight with Martin Kampmann, what are your going into the fight? What are some of the game plans you plan to utilize against him? What strengths do you think match up well against his weaknesses?
Well, the thing is, he's got good stand-up. He throws some straight punches that are really good. But as John, if you watch John Daly's fight with him, he doesn't like being pressured too much. So I'm going to pressure in right away, get close. I'm going to take him down. That's the main goal, because my ground game is much better than my stand-up. I'm a lot more comfortable there. So I'm going to try and get it to the ground as fast as I can. And then from there, I should be able to submit him.
Yeah, I see that as well. I mean, if he's got an okay ground game, he has submitted a couple of guys, but you know, somebody with a wrestling pedigree like you should be able to take him down and do pretty much whatever you want with him once it's there.
Has he fought a wrestler though?
The closest I think he's fought was Condit.
Yeah, well.
And I don't think
wrestle?
Condit. I know Condit wrestled on the high school level. He doesn't have your, not to sound kissing up, but he doesn't have your pedigree.
Because it is a lot different wrestling a jiu-jitsu guy than a wrestler that knows jiu-jitsu.
This is true. This is true.
Just by the way you even riding, the way you have your hips, you use your hips more for wrestlers. Jiu-jitsu guys, they're kind of more like Gumby out there. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at his record right now, and the best grappler in there is Talis Latis, who he got a decision win over.